We talk a whole lot about great teaching, and we appropriately talk a lot about student achievement, but we don't speak nearly enough about the thing underneath it all, the systems. Because here's the truth, schools don't rise on teaching, they rise on the systems that support teaching. Welcome to Making Great Education Happen, the podcast where we talk about the work behind the work of great schools. I'm Shanté Brown Major, and if you know anything about me, you know that I believe that education rises and falls on the quiet, unseen, often overlooked world of academic operations. And I'm really just here for one reason, to change the way we talk about, value, and prioritize the invisible labor that makes teaching possible. So here's today's big idea. In this very first episode, I want to start with the foundational truth that shapes everything that we're going to talk about on this show. Schools don't rise on teaching. They rise on the systems that support teaching. And when those systems are healthy, when they are aligned and intentional, teachers thrive, students thrive, and leaders will thrive. But when they're not, and some of you are experiencing this right now, when those systems are not healthy, they're not aligned, they're not intentional, everyone is operating on fumes and everyone feels burnt out. And those of you who are experiencing strong, healthy systems, you also understand the impact and the importance of a healthy system. So let me be clear about this, though. I don't believe that burnout is a case of teachers suddenly losing their passion. It is not a case of staff that has become less committed. Burnout is a symptom of poor and weak systems that make it impossible to thrive no matter how dedicated you are. And so if you've ever worked in a school where everything feels urgent but nothing feels quite clear, or where the staff is absolutely amazing, but the structure is just chaotic, or where the calendar is packed, it's full, it's moving, but there just seems to be no strategy to support it, then you already know what I mean. It's not that people aren't working hard, because they are. It's the system that is working against them. I fell in love with academic operations long before I really truly had language for it. I was the person who noticed gaps and saw patterns and connected dots and just sort of said to myself, why is this so complicated when it doesn't have to be? And over the years, through corporate learning, academic leadership, nonprofit operations, and global education, I realized an important truth. The best schools are not just well led. They are well organized, they are well planned, they are well supported, they are built on intentional and compassionate human-centered operations that consider teachers, students, and families. And if you're a part of any sort of educational circle, if you are reading any sort of educational articles, you know that educators are ringing the alarm bell. They are sending up red flags. It literally feels as though they are lighting up the bat signal. And yet, academic operations still remains one of the most overlooked arms of a school. It's undervalued. It is often understaffed, it's understudied, and it's understood by almost no one. So let's walk through what academic operations really is, because it's everything that a school depends on, but rarely acknowledges. It's the bell schedule, right? Like, how long does it take for students to get from point A to point B? And what's the impact on the classroom with that schedule? What's the budget? And all of the things that have to be considered with a budget. It's the master schedule. Is it balanced so that we are not overwhelming teachers and not overwhelming students? It's the onboarding process, and not just for staff, but also for families. How are we supporting teachers in effective communication? How are we connecting with elementary parents versus sixth grade parents versus ninth grade parents? Those nuances matter. It's the overall communication rhythm of a school community. It's the materials and it's the tools that we use. It's the safety protocols. It's the data systems. It's the alignment meetings. It's the building care, right? It's the very air that students are breathing. It's the classrooms that teachers are standing in. It's the facilities that too often just get a coat of paint instead of a real solution. It's our discipline systems. How are we building relationships? How are we building communication pathways between teachers, families, and principals so that they can truly partner for every student? It's all the things that no one sees until they break. And that's the work behind the work. That's the work of academic operations, and it's the foundation of every great school. Operations is not just support staff. It should not fall entirely on their shoulders, even though their role is one of the most important in academic operations. Operations is not only the principal. It cannot fall entirely on their shoulders either, even though we understand the vital nature of their leadership. Academic operations is its own skill set, and it needs a clearly defined role, a role that partners with the entire school community. Academic operations is strategy building. It is culture setting. It is equity. It is truly instructional care. It is leadership. It makes vision reality. It connects the gaps. It foresees challenges. It proactively implements solutions. It prepares for the unexpected and absorbs those unexpected things with strength. And it engages its community in real time to understand what's working, what's not, and responds with efficiency. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, finally someone is talking about the side of school that I live in every day, then this podcast is for you. If you are a teacher or a leader or a member of support staff who has felt the impact of weak systems or strong systems, then this podcast is for you too. And if you're just curious about what it truly takes to make great education happen behind the scenes, you are absolutely in the right place. This podcast is for you. And if you want to stay connected, you want to download free tools, you want to take the next step in this conversation, head on over to makinggreateducationhappen.com. That's where you will find this podcast, additional ideas and resources, and a community that is focused on developing this important conversation. So this season, we're going to explore systems, structures, rhythms, and mindsets that are quietly shaping student success. We're going to talk about the IC method, operational maturity, practical tools, and real stories from real schools, and the work that often goes unnoticed but can absolutely change everything. We're going to drop new episodes every week, and so make sure you subscribe. Share this with someone who needs it and join the conversation. And remember, great education doesn't just happen by accident. It's built with intention and purpose. Let's make great education happen together.